Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Hey everybody, welcome. I'm so glad you guys can join me tonight. For those that don't know, my name is Clarence Causby. I am the authors of the books Armageddon, Talking to the Devil, Soul Exchange. This will be republished this year and will be under Reader's Magnet, and Erebus the Ranger. All these covers were done by my friend Arnaldo Rosado. He's doing like all my book covers. And since I was going to be on like these 2 weeks of Festival of Storytellers, I had my friend Jose Negron to do these other covers for me. For like, well, these are kind of like just prototypes of just so I can show you guys something. This is one book that I'm currently working on right now. It's Clarence the Black Flame Warrior, and that and Kurodensu, the blacksmith, is heavily anime inspired with like a lot of isekai themes to it. And the other one that we'll be talking about tonight is the Cerberus Core. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm so glad you guys are able to be here tonight. Thank you for spending your day, your night, your evening, wherever you guys are, for spending some time with me and listening to me share my story and about my books and everything with you guys tonight. So welcome. So the Cerberus Core starts in Elvdale, and basically like there's a group there's a bunch of like monster like killers and everything called the Monster Extermination Squad. And so basically it's ran by like this guy named Eric, but Eric is very sickly. He's very weak and frail. Nobody's sure like how he got sick, how he became sick at all. So he takes his right-hand woman, which is her name is Stephanie. They take a teleporter to go to what would be like the present-day world to recruit his nephew, who's called Cain. And Cain has like solid white hair and blood red eyes. And so, they talk to his parent. He talks to his brother and his sister, to his brother-in-law and his sister about, recruiting Cain to actually try to take over the position of like the leader of the Monster Extinction Squad. So there's like a lot of hesitation at first, and when Cain first saw Stephanie, like he freaked, like he was kind of like shocked. He's like, "Well, what are you doing here? Like your name is Stephanie, right?" He goes like, "But you hate being called Steph." And so she was like, "Well, how did you know?" She's like, "Well, I kind of had a dream about you, where I saw you and a monster had killed you and you were dying in my arms." And so everybody was shocked by it. Like no one could understand like how he knew who she was or anything like that. So they were completely in awe by it. And so basically everybody from Elvdale has a cell called like the Z cell. So anybody who has the Z cell has like superhuman powers. And so like Eric had like Kane's mom and dad has it. And so pretty much, Kane was the only person that hasn't been able to show any sort of any kind of like latent ability with powers or anything like that. So, you know, they did. Eric explains that he wants to take over because there's a person. Oh, new book to talk about. Nice. Hi, Carissa. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Absolutely. Tons of new books. And so they explained to Kane, and his mom and dad that, there's a person named Tony who's kind of taking it over. And, like they want Kane to kind of like get involved. Oh, no, hi, Catherine. How are you? Thank you so much. So basically, Kane, he kind of goes along and it's like, okay, so they show him a picture of Tony. So he's just like, I don't, say something about him that I don't really trust. And so, like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. There's just something about him that, like, I don't know, like, everything inside me, like, just hates him. And so they hand him, like, this metal device to look at what the monsters are, and he's, like, freaks out. He drops it. And he crushes the device. But he's like, well, what's wrong? He's like, I've seen these monsters before. I've seen these monsters in my dreams. And so everybody is still shocked. They're not sure how or why. So Kane's like, no, I don't want to do it. He's like, I just don't want to do it at all. So Kane leaves. And pretty much, he kind of has a change of heart, but Eric asks his parents, like, are you sure he doesn't have any powers? Hi, Carl, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. And he goes and he's like, well, you sure he doesn't have any powers? Because nobody, on the squad is able to really crush it. Not even the strongest guy is able to crush it. And so Kane, like, reconsiders. He's like, okay, I'll come. So he kind of goes and he meets like everybody on the team. He's not really sure, what to really expect. So he kind of asked them about Tony, and they're all like the majority of them tell him like, to shut up, like drop the topic, don't say anything about Tony, whatever. So he's kind of taken back by it. So he's like, okay, fine, whatever. And everybody keeps asking him, like tell him like to stop talking about it. So he kind of gets annoyed by it, and he starts going on with like almost like every individual like of the group. And when there's like tons of monsters around like, that they're fighting, like weird things start happening where the monsters are just like killed like instantly, or like they're being saved, or Kane's like able to heal himself. Nobody really understands why, since it's been known now from Eric that Kane has no powers. And so they all go back and tell Stephanie that like no, Kane has powers. Like he has to be. Like there's no other way to explain what was going on in the field. Hey Tiesha, how you doing? What were your inspirations for the Service Corps? Was it born from all the fantasy books you've read growing up? No, actually, it was, what was it? It was from this one anime. It's almost something like this, but not really. It's was like the Blood Blockade, I think it is, where there's this group where they fight like all kinds of like monsters and everything like that, and and they pretty much like their job is like to kill them and wipe them out. Basically, normal people can't see like the monsters like in that anime, but they can. Especially they got like a new recruit who has like special eyes, which was kind of given to him. And so that's kind of like I kind of took inspiration from that, but kind of like added like my own little twist to it. So that's kind of where the inspiration has got it from. But thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Oh, Chill, when I read your bio and interest in anime caught my eye. I'm an avid fan too, and I've been reading manga since I was a child. Oh, nice, Chad. I hope you enjoy these books, especially like the Service Corps, Clarence the Black Flame Warrior, which talks about the Black Flame. If you watch anime, like Yu Yu Hakusho with Hiei, with the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. So that one was kind of like the whole origin behind like the Black Flame, which is like different names and everything. So in the Service Corps, King keeps going and he's like, no, there's something going. He's like, everybody's like, no, he has powers, like I'm telling you. And he keeps getting like kind of mad because everybody keeps asking him. He's like, no, I keep telling you I don't have any powers. So Tony was hired by the governor, and so basically he's like very corrupt. He has this henchman who's just like ruining everything. He hates the whole group, and basically, he thinks he's going to be the new leader over the group and everything like that. But like they mistreat Kane and stuff like that, and like the group starts to kind of like help Kane really see, that like they're like, listen, we don't really trust you because even though you may be like Eric's nephew, so like that, we don't really know who you are. You just got here. He was like, I feel the same way about you guys. But he starts to really see that he really does have powers, though. And so, just kind of give you like a even more briefer explanation of the book. Does not to give too much away. There's a big blowout between like Kane finds out what is kind of going on, what Tony's hiding. So like he has it out with Tony and his groups and everything like that. But it's like full of excitement, full of action in the book. I was very, very thrilled to like write this book. I love that book. I can envision a service corps to have a world similar to Psychopaths. Minus all the monster stuff. Did you get some inspiration from that anime writing story? No, I really didn't. Not from Psychopaths. I didn't. It was from the I think it was like the Blood Blockade or something like that. I'll have to try to like look that up because I think it's the Blood Blockade or something like that, where it's like monsters and stuff like that. But that's kind of like where I had it from, and I wanted to do like some more overpowered characters. And I was watching YouTube videos where they said like if you notice like people like anime characters with like the white hair and everything is like overpowered. I was like, okay, well, I'll use it something like that. And so, hi Jeanette, how are you? And I'm curious about who Tony is, which is also in the story. So Tony, he got handpicked by the governor, and Tony hates the group. He hates Eric, and so his whole plot is to try to like get rid of the whole group. He doesn't want them to do it. He just wants to do everything his way, and that's pretty much about it. Like his way is the only way. And so he goes along and he does some pretty horrible things with to horrible like to like some of the group and stuff like that. And so when it comes to head and King like he kind of reveals like what he knows now, what he finds out, and then he's like, no, he's like, I'm going to take over now. He's like, goes, you have no right, and then it's like this crazy thing that happens, and like all hell breaks loose because of it. Hi, Pauline. How are you? The book you're talking about tonight sounds a very urban fantasy inspired story of Bright. Oh, you know what? That's one movie. That's one thing I've been wanting to see for a while was Bright, and I have Netflix, but I still haven't watched it. I might watch it tonight actually, since I'm off of work tomorrow and Friday, so I may watch it tonight. It's so Elvedale is like a huge city, still kind of very much urban and everything, very city like, but it has monsters. But the people in Elvedale can actually see the monsters and everything else like that. And so Kane, deals with Tony. Tony's like what people in video games might call like a little sub boss, like a little mini boss. He's not really the whole thing behind the whole story at all. He's just like one little stepping stone. And so he renames the group from that to the Service Corps. So I don't know how many of you know about Greek mythology, but I love Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology. I love Norse mythology. I love pretty much all mythologies. And so in the Greek mythology, there was a three-headed dog called Cerberus, who was like the guardian of the underworld, of which is called Hades. And so Cerberus's job was to keep all the living human beings from entering hell, from entering Hades, and to keep all the souls from exiting Hades. So, Sharon W. Gray, how are you? Thank you so much for the question. Let me see. Anime has really made waves in the world recently. Do you think your MC in the Service Corps will follow the same anime? Yes, it will. So, with the Service Corps, I took inspirations from like different animes and kind of like wrote it up into one. So from like I was talking about like, things like the Blood Brigade or something like that. I apologize about that. I forgot the name of it. But like from Dragon Ball Z, you know, like power, you know, like powers and stuff like that, and then the training and stuff like that. That's pretty much about it. Like, I definitely would never, ever, ever in my entire life pattern any of my characters after Goku because I hate Goku. I really do. Hi, Janet. Do you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures 2? Would you inspire that from the series and apply that into your book? So, no. To answer your question, because I want to be real with you guys, I want to tell you the honest truth is that I don't like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and I'll tell you why. And it may be like a very stupid reason, and it's kind of like very petty. But I've watched like not the very first anime that I watched, but I think it's like the second or third anime I watched was called Fist of the North Star. So Fist of the North Star was like in the post-apocalyptic times and everything, where everything was like a wasteland. You had very few cities and stuff like that. The majority of all the male characters in there look like they're all like jacked, like on steroids or something, have like huge muscles and everything, and they can fight. And so basically, you know, when I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, I'm like, okay, I'll try it out and check it out. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, this looks kind of weird to me. I'm like, and I'm looking, I'm just like this almost looks like a Fist of the North Star, like ripoff. So, and then, but I'm like, okay, you know what thing, I'll just give it a shot. And then I was listening to like the name, and they pretty much, I think it's like all maybe like 60s or 70s bands names. Like one is called like Ario Spiro Wagon, and I was like, and then one fighting style I think was called Hamon, I think, and I know Hamon in Spanish is called Ham. It was like, so I never really give it a shot. I think I watched about like 3 to 4 episodes, but you know, from like different animes, you know, I definitely poured into like the Cerberus one. And so the reason why I call it a Cerberus one is to kind of, because like that group is designed to keep all monsters from coming into Elfdale. And so as the group kind of like, you know, goes on a new path with Cain, they kind of find out there's like this weird thing that's starting to happen where a whole lot of more monsters are coming in that's never been before. So now they kind of suspect that, you know, maybe somebody's kind of letting them in. So now they're trying to stop monsters from coming in, and they're trying to like stop people from going over and like bringing the monsters over. Yeah, so the North Star, like the dystopian aspect, not so much the machismo embedded in it, but I still have fun. Yeah, like it was great. I loved it. So, you know, Fist of the North Star was one of my, I think it was like the second or third anime that I watched, and I loved it. I loved it so much. They had a live action movie about the Fist of the North Star. I think it was in the 90s, I believe. Yeah, it was definitely in the 90s. I think it was when I was in high school, probably around 94, 95 or something like that. That was the most god awful movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And I saw the previews of Dragon Ball, the movie. Like I refused to, I wouldn't even watch it. I didn't even want to see it after I saw the previews because it's like horrible. I think there's only very few people that can actually do like Japan did. Japan kills it, like live action, from Rurouni Kenshin to all that stuff. So like those I watched, like when they did, what was it? Oh, the Death Note on Netflix. Horrible. It seemed like they switched Ryuk's character with Light's character from the anime. So I was like, nah, like this sucks. That's just me though. And so, you know, Kane goes along, you know, he starts like trying to like build up his powers and stuff like that. And he's trying to really gain, you know, like the group's trust and everything, trying to earn their respect and everything like that, because, you know, he really wants to do a good job, because he told his uncle that, you know, that he would like take over, and he wants to make his uncle proud. He wants to make his parents proud, but everything goes crazy, haywire. There's tons of fight scenes in that book, tons. I made sure tons. And the crazy thing is, like, the Cerberus Core, that's going to be a trilogy. The Clarence the Black Flame Warrior, that's going to be a trilogy. Not really a trilogy, I'm sorry. More or less like a series, will probably be more than trilogies. Oh, thank you, Chad. You're an inspiration to young fiction writers out there. What message would you give those who are just starting their career in writing? So that's good. Thank you for asking that, Chad. But Chad, do me a favor. Make sure you come by tomorrow because I'm giving out tips and like, things that helped me out, things I'm constantly learning as a new author and new writer is that, so basically the tips I can give is don't give up and don't be like, oh, I'm going to write a book and make money right away, because it won't happen. Unless you have like famous relatives, stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff, like you will not make money just like that quick at all. It takes time. And one thing I will say is write when you feel it, because if you write when you don't feel like it won't be good at all. So guys, so to those of you that may not know, I'm doing a giveaway this week. I doing a giveaway last week too. So when I ask a question, and if you were the first one that answered, write me, as you can probably see on the banner, on the scrolling banner below, at clarencecosbybooks@gmail.com after you answer it, and then let me know what book that you would like, because I'm giving you a free copy of any one of the books that I've already published or that's coming out this year. So when the books come, let me know your mailing address and I'll sign it for you and I'll mail it to you. So the question of today is, what anime was like the second or third anime that I watched in my lifetime that I really loved? And so if you guys can answer that question, let me know. I'll call you out, and write me at clarencecosbybooks@gmail.com. Let me know your mailing address. Let me know what books you want, and then what book you want. I'll be glad to send it to you and sign it for you. You can only win one still, because I want to give everybody a chance to win the books. But make sure you come tomorrow though, because tomorrow is gonna be like a very huge giveaway. Besides the fact that I'm going to be talking about, like tips for new writers and, my thoughts about different things, about my experiences, for like new writers and everything, is I'm going to do a giveaway. And so whoever answers the question for tomorrow will get a copy of Clarence the Black Flame Warrior, Kurensu the Blacksmith, and the Service Corps when it comes out. So once it's published and everything, once it comes out, I'll get those 3 books and I'll sign them for you and I'll mail them to you. So make sure you guys tell your family, tell your friends, all that wonderful good stuff to come tomorrow, and the rest of the week to be a part of this giveaway. So once again, the question is, what was the second or third movie that I mentioned that I really liked, that I watched in my life that I really, really loved? And so, like the Service Corps has like a lot of action in it. I say it kind of has like a very similar like isekai tendencies, from going from one world to another. And for those that don't know what an isekai is, it's in an anime where you either die and get reincarnated into another world, you play a video game where you just get stuck as a character in another world, or what happens is you get summoned into another world. So it's like different things like that. And Kurensu the blacksmith, full of isekai themes. So is Clarence, like the Black Flame Warrior as well. Not really, but kind of in a way, the Service Corps, because they have like little transporters and everything from Elvedale to like the modern day world and things like that. So it should be fun. Jeanette, let's see, do you think the Service Corps also has some kind of redemption characters? I believe so. I definitely think, if not in this one, but there's definitely some redeeming aspects, some redemptive moments in this book. Probably there'll be a lot more like throughout the series that I'm planning on writing. And the crazy thing is, like, I'm still doing like finishing touches on the Service Corps, so I'm still kind of like tweaking things here, a bit and there. But I've already like started thinking of like the sequel to it already, so I'm very excited about that. There's another book of mine, like Erebus the Ranger. I've thought about sequels for that as well. So I'm just like enjoying writing. I would just love to do that. Be able to quit my job full time, like quit that job altogether, and just write full time. Because when I first like wrote my first book, like it was exciting. I was like, okay, cool, I'm a writer, awesome, that's great, fantastic, this is amazing, cool. But I started writing more, like I got more and more ideas. I love the art of writing. I love the just like the peace that it brings me, because like it's like so therapeutic for me, because if I'm angry, I can kind of like get it out in my stories and everything like that. Boy, I'm a big fan of Rurouni Kenshin. He's my first fictional love, and I love that entire. Yes, yes, Rurouni Kenshin is amazing. I love that so much. I think the only thing that I was kind of like upset about was that like he was just so kind, and that he didn't want to become like the Batosai, the manslayer anymore. That was just like there's enemies, and I was like, come on, Kenshin, just turn in the Batosai, the manslayer, just for like 1 second. It's like, oh, just kill these guys like real quick. But he never would though. But he was just like amazing with the sword, and like all those characters like Daisuke and everything like was amazing. But Rurouni Kenshin, like I love that. I even loved like the live action one that they did in Japan. I enjoyed it so much, and the whole story behind like him becoming like the Batosai, the manslayer, and how he became like a Rurouni Kenshin is like so awesome to me. Like that's really good storytelling to me. Like I love that so much. What other common anime tropes should we expect in the Service Corps? Thank you for the question, Cecilia. So basically, you'll have So okay, so there's a one scene in the book where Kane has to get trained. So he gets, he starts training, how to like use his powers, how to, really kind of like how to focus, how to control them and stuff like that. And the more and more like stronger he gets, it is taken from Dragon Ball, and it's taken from was it Bleach? Yeah, Bleach. But from Bleach, it was taken from kind of like Kenpachi in a way, where kind of like where Kenpachi had like the blindfold, but an eye patch over his eye, and so kind of like contained his power. And so, matter of fact, even in Naruto too, with Rock Lee, where he had like the weighted outfits on, and like the same thing, that was in Dragon Ball too. So the more and more he could get stronger and more powerful and everything, is that the guy that's training him gives him heavier and heavier clothes to wear, so that way he can kind of keep his power under control, and to kind of like he teaches like how to hide his true power. But but a lot of people tell Kane that he's going to eventually get like stronger and become like insane when he really like reaches his peak of it. And you'll see like they'll be doing like crazy like blasts. And the thing is, everybody on the Cerberus Corps has all different powers. They have different weapons, stuff like that. Matter of fact, one of the weapons that they have in there is was this like the sword nunchucks. If you ever watched Demon Slayer, you'll notice like the one Harashima and everything. He has like the sword nunchucks as well. So like one of the characters has that. One character has chains. One has knives. One doesn't have anything at all. He has guns and stuff like that. So Kane's powers is very unique and everything, and like you'll see and it's very very anime-ish. Not only that, because like you'll see like his aura and stuff like that. He'll have like a bloodlust moment where his enemies will sense like his bloodlust and everything like that. And then because with these anime books, I've asked my friend who's done like the covers, Ronaldo Rosado, my friend, he's doing like all my book covers for me. It's going to be kind of like a half book, half like manga type situation. So let's say on page 5, like you go through the story, you're reading what's going on in the book, but on page 6, you'll actually see like all the drawings and everything, like manga style, like all what's going on in the story as well. I don't know. Are you a fan of spoilers? Have you been spoiled with your favorite anime, manga, or something? So it depends. Some I am, some not so much. But I've spoiled it on my own. So that, how can I say this without spoiling for anyone? So in Chainsaw Man, there was a character. I was, because I like to know some of the backstory behind the characters, and so the one character, which I won't name, is, I kind of looked up the character, and then as I, kept reading, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, there's no way. I'm like, how? And so I kind of ruined it for myself. I was just like, oh, this sucks so bad. But then I'm like, but then when I spoiled for myself, I'm like, I want that character to die right now. I can't stand that character. And I know this might sound funny, but does the main character in the Service Corps also defeat the enemies with the power, love, and friendship? I don't know. I mean, maybe, I guess. Can't really see that happening, but I mean, you never know. Like, I mean, there could be another character that pops up one day. I'm not really sure. That's a good one though. I enjoyed that one. But we'll see. You never know. But as far as the main character, I don't really think so. He's just more or less like, like, oh, like, no, like, let's just kill people. Let's just like see all the blood guts of the end of like the monsters and stuff like that. All that kind of fun stuff. All right, guys. So it's 6:31 now here, my time. I'm gonna ask the question once more time. So if you guys know the second or third anime that the second to third anime that I watched, which I mentioned earlier, if you guys know the answer to that one, please comment it either now or after this over into the comment section of the Readers Magnet on Facebook. I'll reply to you, and if you guys know it, I'll reply to you and hit me up at clarencecausbybooks@gmail.com and let me know what book that you would like that has either already been published or that's going to be published this year, and then I'll get the books for you. And if the books comes out, I'll get those and then sign them for you and then send them off to you. Like I said, tomorrow it's going to be more about tips, that I've learned and things that have helped me out as being a new author and things that I kind of feel about certain things and being an author and everything like that. Oh, thank you so much, Catherine. I really appreciate that. Oh, I enjoyed our conversation as well. Thank you so much for that. So, like, guys, come tomorrow because I'm going to be, like I said, about what it's like to be a newbie as an author. And on Friday, come Friday, because it's going to be a very relaxed, very chill session. Because like you guys can ask me questions. I'll ask you guys some questions on Friday. And this is going to be a fun time because Friday's going to be like the last day of the Festival of Storytellers. And, the last time I'll be doing this until like the next Festival of Storytellers. So come tomorrow, come and Friday too. Cause so tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. Tomorrow Eastern Standard Time in the United States. There for tomorrow and Friday will be those exact same times. Tomorrow we're gonna have fun, and so please come tomorrow, come Friday. We're gonna have a blast. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. Thank you so much for coming to me on this journey to be an author, and thank you ever so much for taking time out of your busy schedules, whether it's day, noon, or night, wherever you guys are. I appreciate you so much. You guys are really touch my heart. I thank you for the questions. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your info, your feedback, everything. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great night, have a great rest of the week and everything, and have a great new year. If I don't see you guys again, I love you guys, and I'll see you at the next Festival of Storytellers. But I hope to see you for the rest of the week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, guys. Have fun. Be safe.